But
Right.
being a woman, I was allowed to go everywhere, wherever there is a woman. So I experienced and learned a lot.
That's great.
Girls and women send their request or things that they are in trouble. We got many
okay.
calls that a girl is in trouble and she's been tortured and locked. When we were able to contact to her parents, and when they came and they said, girls like that, I'm the only girl in the office. She said, girls like that, they spoil us. We watch them and that's why we ran away from my home.
Really?
Yeah, when I was working with the newspaper, because that time there were not too many newspapers in the city who are publishing from our city, so we don't get paid very well.
Hello, Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, Adab. दोस्तों, मैं हूँ Sharon Ali and you're watching Hunny Walia shows. आज के segment में Through the Eyes of a Woman, we have a very special guest जिसका नाम है Shabana Munir. Shabana, thank you so much for being on our show.
Oh, thanks for having me. How are you?
Very good, thank you, thank you. So Shabana, you were born and raised in Pakistan, mother to 3 beautiful children, and you have a master's in mass communication. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah,
as far as your
I'm
education,
born in
your life?
Pakistan. My early childhood I spent in Quetta, which is in a Balochistan, a mountain area as well.
Okay.
So I grew up playing with snow.
Oh,
so yeah, snow is
nice.
not new to me.
Okay.
So when I was in almost grade 4, 5th, my dad transferred to Multan, and we moved there. So both cities have a huge difference weather-wise.
Oh, okay.
So Quetta is the coldest place, and Multan was the hottest. But we loved that city so much. We stayed there. After that, my dad transferred to different places, but my mom and we stay in that city.
Okay.
Because my father was in marketing, so we traveled a lot.
Okay.
So he's a fun-living person. He traveled 4 or 5 days for his work, and on weekend he take us to the places that he likes. He's not the father who want to say like, oh, today is my day off. I don't want to go somewhere. So the places he likes, he take us to those places over the weekend, and we have fun there. So we traveled a lot. I have seen most of Balochistan, Punjab, Sindh.
Wow.
So I traveled quite, and and they believe on the girls are equal to the boy, and we have so much fun. My childhood was not something like that. You're a girl, you can't do this.
That's good. That's
or
good.
boys are allowed to do that. So we are 3 sisters and then 2 brothers.
Okay.
So the sisters are the older one. So the home is ruled by the girls. When boys want something, then still they have to come to us and ask us, so can you talk to Baba that we can get this thing?
Really?
Yeah.
That's different.
That's different.
That's
so
different.
yeah, we were always allowed to do what we want, and I think so my mother is the biggest part in that one.
Okay.
Her vision was that her daughter should go into the fields which are not women dominated.
Okay.
She doesn't want us to go with the teaching or anything everyone else is doing. So she make us to think out of the box and go to the fields and join the field which there are not, girls are not in majority.
That's amazing, especially back then when I think you think that girls would be less dominant than boys or that sort of thing. But so you guys were very privileged.
Yeah,
3 sisters to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And you said you moved around because your father was in marketing.
In marketing, so
Okay.
with a multinational company. So whenever he moved, so we moved with him. But till we are in high school, after high school, my mother decided not to move with him because of our education.
Right. So your mother seems like she was a very strong woman too.
She is very strong woman. And when the word come to strong woman, we think, we very misinterpret that word. We think the women who are working in the field or doing the job or who have university degrees, they are the strong women. That's not the case.
That's the stereotype.
That's the stereotype.
Yeah.
My mother has no college degree even. She just finished her school, but she has a vision. She knows how to help her kids. And our house was really busy. My dad is the friendliest person you can ever know. So wherever he go, he tells the people, oh, you're going to Multan, you don't need to stay in the hotel. We have a home, you can stay at home. So my mom, when she's raising 5 kids by herself, we have all the time a guest at our home. She managed both, and still she managed to raise us, with the dignity, with respect. And 5 of us have careers, and
That's
some of us are
great.
very successful. Some of us are like me, but few of my siblings are doing, at the top of the game. So
that's great.
yeah.
That's wonderful. It's so important that you have that support, right, from your mother. That's great because just being a woman in that time, to give you all that encouragement. I wonder if that came from her parents too. She was raised like that.
Yeah, she raised like that as well. Yeah,
that's perfect. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah. And I have seen same thing with my father's family too.
Yeah.
He has 7 sisters, but they are very strong and independent women. I ever seen them that they are making their decision by themselves. So I personally never experienced oppressed or depressed women where they have no privileges.
Right.
So yeah.
So you've always been around that aura where there's the women are always stronger, made their own decisions, and very independent in that sense. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great growing up like that. It makes you a very strong, independent woman as well. I can see that.
Yes, that's true.
So you're in mass communication.
Yeah.
What made you choose that field?
I done my graduation and I was thinking to go into the social work.
Okay.
And I get into a very good university. But then someone from England, my dad's friend, he was like, "What's that social work? Why you don't want to do it?"
Oh.
The word he said, it hit me so hard. I was like, no more. I don't want to go in there. So I was thinking about different things, and then I choose, because I always a people's person. I love to work with people. Then I choose that. And as a kid, growing up, our home was the place where we have 3-4 newspaper coming every day. We have all the magazines, political magazines. So I grew up reading all those magazines every day and newspapers. So my dad emphasized on reading more than on getting a good marks and the course.
Right.
So reading is something, a habit, and especially the political side and international issues, national issues, politics. We read all those, watched the shows and read the newspapers. So that's something when I entered the field practically. So I was so aware and so learned already.
So you like that background, that communication, that reading and finding out exactly what things, how they came and how they formed and stuff. So you've been a reporter.
Yeah.
Where did you do your reporting? Was it back in Canada, or was it back in?
It's in Pakistan.
Okay.
After I complete my degree. So during my degree, one of my professor always told me, "You're gonna go into the reporting," and he tells different students different thing. Okay, you're good, because we study advertisement, marketing, and so many things, not only reporting. I was like, why you are after me to be a reporter? He said, I know you can do it. So once I complete my degree, my professor referred me to a newspaper.
Right.
And I was so lucky because there is only one seat in that newspaper for a woman.
Oh, okay.
And that was, available that time. So they hired me and I start working.
That's great. From the referral of your professor.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
The newspaper is famous for being very aggressive newspaper. They don't treat like you are a woman, okay, you can go do the light things, easy work. They put so much pressure on us to be in the field and bring the news. I get the opportunity of being a woman to be report in different fields. So usually reporter have their political field, educational field, or sports. But being a woman, I was allowed to go everywhere, wherever there is a woman. So I experienced and learned a lot.
That's great. That's great. So what are some of the things that you did journalism on? Like reporting, you said different fields. So it was in sport medicine, did you say, or sports?
No. It's I was everywhere, because I'm going to court, doing if there is about anything, doctors, meeting doctors, scholars, and doing the interviews, conducting different, having a forum discussions. So I was kind of everywhere. But journalism changed my thinking, the way I grow up, knowing that women are very innocent, and they treat them with the respect and with love.
Yeah.
But going into the field and seeing the other side of the woman, oh my God, that was too hard to handle.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
it was really hard. I couldn't sleep for 2 months, knowing that woman can be a criminal, how cruel a woman can be.
Really?
So that was a different world for me, and it's just shattered my whole concept that women are, the girls are right and innocent. So that was very hard to take it, but it teach me a lot, after that, my concept of gender equality and that women are innocent and it's always, women are the person who take bad things on them. It changed, it's both ways,
I can see how journalism can do that, because you get to understand and talk to the people that have actually been through these things, their perspective, their views on that as well. So what are some more, I was going to ask you some more, you have the pros of being a journalist and a reporter. What were some of the cons aside from you seeing that women, women can be in jail, women can be, doing these kind of things that we never thought that a woman can do? Are there any other cons that any setbacks or anything? Did you have any troubles or any kind of, things that you said, wow, I can't believe this, or,
there was many times, as the newspaper was not only a newspaper, it's have their help desk, so different girls and women send their request or things that they are in trouble. We got many calls that a girl is in trouble and she's been tortured and locked. And many times when we went to those places, it's actually the girls who lock themselves inside, and they are asking for the things that parents can't afford, So it was a really another way. If someone tell us, reading that letter or receiving the call make us feel like, oh my God, the girl is in trouble. So we need to rush to save them.
Yeah.
But most of the time that was not the case.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
And one time we have a girl in our office and she ran away from home and someone, dropped her at our office. So I was taking her for breakfast. I was like, oh, innocent girl, let's take you to the, for a breakfast and have some. And the guard stopped me at the door. He said, where are you going? I was like, I'm taking her for breakfast. She's hungry. And he was like, she will kill you and run away. That women's are that strong. And he said, if anything happened to you, you are responsible. Go back. So,
really?
Yeah. So they are pretty strong and they don't usually tone down easily.
What was the impression you got her when you first met her? Obviously, you thought she was a sweet, innocent thing because you want to take her for breakfast.
And then I see the other face in the evening when we, when we were able to contact to her parents and when they came and they said, girls like that, I'm the only girl in the office. She said, girls like that, they spoil us. We watch them and that's why we ran away from my home.
Really?
Yeah, and my chief reporter got so upset. He said, don't point at her. She's the one who's protecting you since this morning.
Yeah.
And it was shocking, wow, how people can play, games and
very opinionated, and I think a lot of it comes back to the stereotypes of women. You see someone out there, a strong woman, doing her own thing, having her own career, and working as a reporter, and that being out there and seeing the different things.
Different thing is a
someone that doesn't do that just sees it from the general view. They're thinking, okay, she's bad.
She's bad.
She's doing all these kind of things. How dare she? And she's creating all these other girls to do all this other stuff. So going back to these girls, you said that they used to lock themselves up.
Yes, just in their sometimes they know that the newspaper help the girls and we go there and take actions. So they just use us as a source to get out of the situation, but the situations are mostly self-created.
Really?
It's not like they've been in actual trouble.
Right.
I know the women do suffer. I know there is a woman who are being abused by men.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, majority of them, they don't come out. They don't speak for themselves.
That's true.
The women who are speaking for them are never experienced what the actual issue is. So it creates a big kind of a gap between what's actually happening and what actually we need to do and what we are doing. So I think we are taking women's rights in a very different direction, because the women who are fighting for the rights are the women who already are very privileged. They never been in that situation. Very few of them maybe, but not most of them.
So being a reporter, did you ever get a call or a letter from someone saying, okay, this woman is being abused, or she's not being treated fairly, or she needs to be exposed to the media or whatnot? Did you ever get calls like that?
Yeah, that's kind of a common practice there. As I said, the newspaper have a separate area. It's called the help desk. So we receive so many calls, and then depending on the call, if it's a female is involved in that case, so I usually go with the other reporters.
So you being a reporter, how would you solve that situation? Do you just bring it out in the media and then people just get a view of this, what's happening here?
Yeah,
like how does it, so what gives them, like what is the incentive that they have calling you as a reporter to come and hear their story? Like, what does it do
because
for them?
we, the media is very powerful in
Yeah.
our country.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we do have, sometimes if we think that we need the help of police, we have them police with us.
Okay,
And
okay.
some the other organization, they are working for women rights. We have with them on board too. Maybe if we need a lawyer, so the newspaper have its own lawyer, so we can't
Okay.
take the lawyer with us. So it's, we can help them in different ways.
Okay.
But if the situation is genuine,
Yeah.
otherwise we just go there and talk to the girl, talk to the parents, and
Yeah.
solve the small things by ourselves.
And with you guys going there, did it usually help you talking to the parents and that? Do they usually listen?
Usually
interesting.
It does help, yeah.
I guess that's a good way. You go out in there and help people that, that need the help and
Yeah, because
We're stuck.
they don't have that vision. They think the world outside is like a fun place. What the media is showing, even that time, the dramas, all those movies, you ran away from home and you will end up marrying a rich guy and having a better life. So when the media is showing that, so those innocent mind think that is right. So
Yeah.
they try to do all those things, and running away from home and blaming their parents, and someone will come and save them and take to some better place. It's just a utopia they are living in, and it's created by media somewhere.
media has a
somehow.
very big impact, especially on
yeah.
the young crowd.
Young
It really
crowd,
does. They think it's magical out there, your savior, your charming prince is going to come out there and save you. And
Save,
it's too bad that, and I think sometimes it's education has to fall into play too, right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah, for sure. Education
Yeah.
and training,
Yeah.
And media should be, not representing every girl who run away from home and up being a princess or.
Yeah, exactly. It was that happy ending, right?
Yeah, it's
right.
like not happy ending.
So you were invited to the National Media Women's Workshop. Tell us about that experience.
That was very interesting. I was only into 6 or 7 months into the journalism,
Okay.
and I got a call and a letter from them. It's Islamic University who was arranging it, and I looked at the letter, and then people were invited. I was like, wow, I don't need to be there. Like, I don't deserve to be there because
Yeah.
I'm so new into that.
Right.
And I told my dad, I was like, no, maybe they don't know about the other women who are working in the field. So I called them. I was like, you guys are mistaken. I'm so new. I don't deserve to be invited. I have this woman who are working in the field maybe for 10, 15 years. So they said, we are not looking at who is senior and junior, we are looking at the work that's done
Good
by
answer.
the person, and they said we literally look at last 6 months newspapers, your articles are there, work is there, so we just inviting the people on the basis of their work.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, and my newspaper, they don't let you go because 3 days or 4 days is a big time if there is no report for that. They say, leave it, Shabana, it's not good, and they maybe won't worth it, and maybe it's not real. My dad said, look at the name on the list, the president of the country, ex-president was invited, one of the very famous writer, Fatma Surya Bachia was there, and many other, that's the top of the game, women were there. So my dad is the one who pushed me to go. I was like, if nobody come to pick me up at the airport, what I'm gonna do? So he said, you have some friends working in the city, because it was in another city, Islamabad. So he said, you have few friends there, call them and they will come too. If this university won't come to pick you up, those, the host will not come, you can rent a hotel and stay there 2-3 days, and they are sending you the ticket, buy a ticket, return ticket, so enjoy 3 days and then come back.
I think that's so amazing that your father pushed you like that. That is so amazing.
So he made me to call my friends, which are male friends, and telling me stay in the hotel for 3 days if there is no one there. But he traveled a lot, he traveled the world, so he knows that the university is legitimate, and at this level there is no fake thing.
Right.
So I'm so glad I went. and it was an amazing experience. I stayed in the same place with Fatma Suraya Bajia. There is Dr. Farhat Hashmi, is very famous scholar, Islamic scholar. She's nowadays, I think so, she's in Toronto. She was a guest there. There are a few other, news anchor were there who we usually watched on TV there,
So very prestigious
Very
workshop.
prestigious.
Nice.
And Khalid Miraj, Khalid Miraj was the ex-president. He was there. And staying with Fatma Suraya Bajia for 3 days, it was the privilege to know her very well. We have the workshops during the day, and then evenings are free. We sit together, and there is a lot to learn from her. She's such a humble lady. So a very strange incident happened. When she saw me, she said, "I saw you somewhere, Shabana." I was like, "Where?" 1.5 years ago, we were on a university trip to Karachi. We met for a couple of minutes, and that woman is that genius.
Wow.
That after 1.5 years, she looked at me and she told me that we met somewhere.
She remembers you.
And when I told my dad, and he said, the great people are not great just by chance.
Yes.
They are great because they are more genius and above average people. So
exactly.
that was amazing, staying with them. And then another very strong woman was Sadia Afghan. Her father was assassinated. He ran a political investigative magazine, and she was there. And those women are very simple, very humble. And that time I learned to be somewhere and to be at the top. You don't need to be arrogant. You don't need to be, just being looking good. You cannot achieve what you want to achieve there.
Absolutely.
Beauty and brain should be together,
Absolutely.
and humbleness, down to earth. So those 3 days taught me a lot.
That's great, and it's so wonderful that you had that experience to expose yourself to all these brilliant people, and it helps you too with what you do too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
But Jia told us so many things which was never been in media. Few of the things she allow us that we can go back and share it. We can write about it, and few things she told us not to. So that's amazing thing to know someone personally that close, and get that information.
Absolutely, that's great, and that encouragement. I'm so happy to see that encouragement from your parents, especially your father. Especially a father is always so careful of his daughters. Don't go here, don't go there. Be careful. When it comes to the opposite sex, right?
But
that's amazing. Good for you. That's awesome. So you eventually went on to start your own advertising company.
Yes. So when I was working with the newspaper. Because that time there were not too many newspapers in the city who are publishing from our city, so we don't get paid very well. Most of us are like kind of a hobby. When I start working, my dad bought me a car.
Oh, nice.
He hired a chauffeur for me, so I will travel with respectfully, don't just going around using the public transport. So most of us are doing it more like a hobby than for the financial side.
Right.
So I was able to convince 2 of my fellows like we need to do something. And we started our own advertisement agency. We ran it for almost a year. It was good, and my dad was again a biggest support. He financially support us. And when the time comes to do the first project, because we are not experienced in that field, so my dad that time was doing a business. He said okay, do my company's project.
Oh, nice.
I know we messed up big time.
It was an experience. Always
it was experience,
right?
Especially he ordered, the advertisement clocks. And 70% of those clocks never works. But my dad was the biggest encouragement. He never said you guys are wasting the money.
Right. Tell us about the different awards you've received in recognition of your journalism reporting.
When I was in a journalism, that's the biggest award that I've been invited to, the National Media Expert Women.
Right.
And and there was nothing really an award at that time. Introduced. But now I'm working as a student sports services.
Okay.
I've been with one of the private career college in Edmonton for last almost 9 years, more than 9 years.
Right.
I've been acknowledged for my work many times, and got the most valuable employee or facilitator, that kind of awards. So
the reporting and journalism all was done in Pakistan? So when you came to Canada, then were you still doing a little bit of that, or you went into this other field?
When I came to Canada, I have 2 kids. My son just turned 3 and my daughter was only one. So I decided to stay at home and spend time with my kids. Even before moving to Canada, I stopped working. Because I have seen few women who are working, and I've seen the kids being treated by their maids, because it's not a daycare system at that time. It's just some help at home, and I experienced how they are treating the kids when the moms are away. So I don't.
Scary, isn't it?
Very scary. So I don't want to put my kids in that situation. I decided myself to stay at home and take care of my kids. So when I moved to Canada, I stayed at home for a couple of years. Enjoyed the time with my kids. I can drive them everywhere, and where I cannot drive, it's far and I'm scared, I just take a bus and we going everywhere. I never stop.
That's great.
Going. Then after that I get admission at NEET in radio TV journalism. Before even I started, I figured it out, I'm pregnant with my third child. So I was like, no, baby will be there in 9 months, and the diploma will take 2 years. So what should I do? So I decided not to continue with that one. So when my daughter born, third daughter child born, and I stay at home around 8-9 months with her, and then I was looking for something that's more flexible. So that's the time I end up getting my diploma from the college I'm working for. It was a flexible hours. I did my business administration diploma. The goal was I will go into a newspaper's business office or stuff that, and then I will move up from there. But when I completed my diploma, they offered me jobs. So since then I'm working with them.
You're working for them. And how does your husband, was he a big support to you as well, like your parents were? Always kind of stood by you and supported you and everything?
He's a good sport, and I'm a very strong woman. The raising the house where the girls are always right.
I guess he'd have to support you.
He has to support, and he's the son of my father's friend, so he knows the way we grow up. We girls were pretty notorious in the family, so being too strong and and not listening to anyone.
So that never intimidated him or anything? You being so strong?
No, that prepared him well, so he knows how to handle that thing. If I'm in the argument in the start, he knows it's not a good time to stop me. He just listen, and when I'm done talking, maybe after 2-3 days, usually he brought that things back. He was like, you said me these things. I was like, never. I can never talk that way.
He waits 2-3 days to talk. Oh, that's so cute. He doesn't want to make you any more angry, right?
No. And I think so that worked the best, and my mom always taught me that too, always respect your partner.
Absolutely.
And have that respectful relation with them. When you talk something, when you say something, be ready to listen same thing back too. So and then he just emphasized that thing. So after some time, I know that how I should treat him.
That's great.
So he supported me really well throughout.
That's great. It's great that you guys have that understanding. Seems like a really nice guy, especially since he waits 3 days to talk to you.
Because he when I'm so happy and back to normal.
Okay, I can approach her now.
And he didn't say anything. He usually don't say why I said it. He just repeat what I said. So that is embarrassing. When we are we talk, we can say anything. But when you and me and happy, and I brought something that we have.
You're like, did I really say that?
So I learned to control myself in a better way.
That's great.
So that should be, that's what vice versa. So people should, especially with the marriage, don't be mad and upset the same time your partner is.
I'm going to get you to tell that to our viewers.
Give that so in a marriage or in any relation, when one person is upset, please calm down the second one. It's not important that you fight back right at that time. Wait when the situation gets better, when things are normalized, then you can say what you want to say.
Perfect.
So it will not, that small fight cannot be to a big kind of issue. You can help it. You can calm it down and handle it.
Very good advice. Very good advice for our viewers out there. That is wonderful to hear about your background, your journey through life. So now we have some fun questions for you. Okay. So what is the first thing you would grab aside from your kids if your house was on fire?
Aside from my kids? What will I grab? My documents.
Your documents? Okay, good one. Where would you like to retire?
Pakistan.
Pakistan?
Yeah.
You live in Pakistan, huh?
Yeah.
I think you spent most of your life there, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
If you could interview anybody, who would it be?
The people I love, they are gone. Like Benazir Bhutto could be the top of my list for sure.
Yeah.
But now maybe Imran Khan.
Imran Khan? Oh,
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice. Would you rather be a singer or a dancer?
Dancer.
Dancer for
singing
sure.
is too bad, singing.
What is something you used to do as a child that you always made your mother angry?
I like to do dare, we have a Jeep, the olden days where there is no door on the back. So I always like to sit on the tire on that.
Oh my goodness. Give her a slight heart attack, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. What would you rather have? Runners, flip-flops, or high heels?
High heels.
High heels?
Yeah.
Me too. Do you believe in ghosts?
Not really.
Not at all?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so you're not alone in the house one day and think that something's moving around in the house and...
No.
Okay.
We are biggest ghost than any other.
What is your favorite cereal?
Favorite cereal? I watch mostly political shows, so no like dramas.
Okay, good answer. What is your favorite way, or how is your favorite way to eat a potato?
Fries.
Fries? So
Yeah.
fried potato. Okay. Have you ever dropped food on the ground and then picked it up and ate it without anyone looking?
Not really. I have like 30-second rule is good.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that 30-second rule.
30-second rule is good. Pick up Bismillah Rahman Rahim and done.
And you eat it.
It depends on the food, you
Yeah,
can't pick up the liquids if it's something solid.
Yeah, exactly. Shabana, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much. Very
you.
interesting, very independent, strong woman.
Oh,
thank you for your
you.
message that you gave to our viewers. That's wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And to our viewers, thank you so much for all your love and support. और अगर आप हमारे shows पे आना चाहते हैं और अपने life experiences share करने चाहते हैं, तो please हमें inbox कीजिए या message कीजिए. To log on to more Hunny Walia shows, check our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care.